On behalf of BIC Magazine and our sponsor, MISTRAS Group, I'd like to welcome everyone to today's webinar on how to reduce downtime and on-set site personnel by combining rope access and mechanical service providers. This is Robin Dupree from BIC Magazine. First, a few pointers regarding your webinar console. You can maximize or reduce the size of any of the windows. At the bottom are widgets to access resources, including a PDF of the slides. Please click the middle green icon. There's a Q&A box to text in questions anytime during the presentation. We will have a segment at the end of this presentation for those questions, but feel free to trickle in your questions during the presentation. If you experience any technical problems, click the yellow question mark and our team will address them accordingly. And now I'd like to thank our sponsor, MISTRAS. The company is a leading one-source global provider of technology-enabled asset protection solutions used to evaluate the structural integrity of critical energy, industrial and public infrastructure. And MISTRAS mechanical services span pipe fitting, electrical, industrial, and insulation services, and its rope access teams are industry leaders in safely accessing at-height equipment. And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to today's presenters. Carolyn Swan is the Global Manager of MISTRAS Rope Access Center of Excellence, which is a leading provider of rope access and rescue equipment, training, and services in North America. She has over a decade of experience managing rope access operations and training in the petrochemical and other industries. She has been a leader in the implementation of rope access for organizations worldwide. She is a certified technician through the Society of Professional Rope Access Technicians. And our second presenter is Marlon Lester, Manager of MISTRAS Mechanical Services Center of Excellence. He has nearly 30 years of experience in all aspects of construction maintenance and integrity operations in the upstream and downstream refining markets in the Gulf of Mexico region. Marlon joined the company after operating as the Executive Vice President of the Nature Corporation, now a MISTRAS member company that serves as a multi-discipline turnkey service provider for the oil and gas industry. While with that company, he successfully introduced the company into the super major deepwater market of the GOM region. And now I'd like to hand the mic over to Carolyn.
Good afternoon, folks, and thank you, Robin. To remain competitive, plant managers are constantly seeking new ways to improve safety, quality, and efficiency. Substantial improvements in these important metrics can be achieved by employing rope access where scaffolds, lifts, or cranes are typically used. Since 1994, MISTRAS has pioneered the use of industrial rope access, providing inspection and maintenance services worldwide. MISTRAS operates over 100 offices worldwide with capabilities to offer mechanical rope access services globally. MISTRAS has approximately 800 certified rope access professionals with 300 mechanical services trades folks certified for rope access. MISTRAS is committed to investing in training and the competency of our most important asset, our people. We've constructed state-of-the-art facilities for specialized skills training, including confined space and fall protection training. Our rope access training division, RopeWorks, is a recognized leader in rope access training. With multiple training centers across the globe, RopeWorks trainers prepare candidates for both SPRAT and IRATA certification with excellence and a commitment to safety. Now I'll review some of the rope access training standards. MISTRAS RopeWorks training goes above and beyond industry standards, requiring a high degree of competence and professionalism from every successful candidate. MISTRAS is a member of both IRATA and SPRAT, the two global rope access trade associations. The rope access division is subject to periodic independent audits to ensure the compliance to industry standards. Rope access is statistically safer than conventional methods because of rigorous training, consistent equipment controls, and proper supervision. These controls include third-party audit of rope access training program, third-party audit of rope access operations, internal audit of each site, peer checking, field performance assessments, and these combined helps maintain over 2 million safe rope access work hours. A typical inspection project may require multiple contractors to scaffold, remove insulation, inspect, replace insulation, and finally remove the scaffolding. A composite MISTRAS crew, including a certified inspector, skilled tradesman, and rope access supervisor, can complete a project in a fraction of the time and expense. Most mechanical services offered by MISTRAS can be delivered efficiently by rope access. In addition, rope access crews are often multi-certified tradesmen that mobilize quickly, allowing flexibility of job scope. And now I'll hand it over to Marlon Lester for our mechanical services overview.
Thank you, Carolyn. I'm going to start in our industrial services section. MISTRAS has been in the environmental industry for over 20 years. We have experienced employees, state-of-the-art equipment, provide turnkey operations. Some of the services provided in our industrial services division are storage tank and vessel cleaning, degassing, flexible and rigid lancing, heat exchanger cleaning, glycol dehydration cleaning, manual and chemical, platform removal services, drain clearing services, line flushing for platform and pipeline abandonment removal. We can perform this with compact and powerful skid-back systems. Our construction services and construction support division does spools, bolt-up, torquing and tensioning, blinding, isolation, texting and commissioning, seam tracing, flange mapping, valve identification, cracks, mechanical damage, corrosion, well quality. Corrosion services. Corrosion services is one of the largest mechanical divisions within MISTRAS. All of our services are performed with API and Bulletin 91, best management practice, and ACE standards. Provide conventional abrasive blasting, wet abrasive blasting, UHP, and advanced UHP robotics. We do passive fire protection, both cementless and intermittent. Our insulation services division. We do hot and cold insulation on vessels, piping, tanks for both exhaust and personal protection, soundproofing, heat tracing, living quarter repairs, AC and ductwork, aluminum doors and hardware, commercial overhead doors. Our blankets are inclusive of ceramic fiber, silicone cloth, stainless steel mesh, insulation types that we may use to include metal jacketing, calcium silicate, perlite, mineral wool, and foam glass. The newer insulations that we're using are the aerogel system, pyrogel for heat, and cryrogel for cold substrate. As an integrated service provider, our mechanical integrity and coating services integration includes external corrosion evaluation. This includes overview of surveys, plant condition, pre-paint inspection, clamp support and removal, reinstallation, visual inspection processes, all conducted to API standards. This time I'm going to turn it back over to Carolyn for the following slides.
I'll close up the mechanical portion with the report generation and archiving process within MISTRAS. So one of the services that we provide are the processing, the data evaluation, the analysis, and then the reporting attributes combined with the mechanical services. In a recent case study, the analysis of a plant's operations and upcoming turnaround activities, MISTRAS performed the following tasks during a turnaround utilization. We implemented a 6-rope system for cable pull, NDE inspection inside the FSU, valve turns for operations, shutdown of utility water system, installation of inspection ports, and removal of insulation and cladding. These were all performed via rope access, with the total rope access hours for the task performed on rope being only 125 hours compared to a traditional method, which would have been about 17,000 hours. As you can imagine, such drastic savings in man-hours equals substantial cost savings. In this case, the customer saved well over $2 million compared to traditional access methods for mechanical services, combining it with rope access. As the previous case study demonstrated, substantial savings can be achieved by employing rope access where scaffolds, lifts, or cranes are typically used. Data from MISTRAS customers spanning over 2 decades shows significant cost savings generated by offering mechanical services via rope access. Over 65% cost savings compared to other access methods and a 72% reduction in worker hours, exposure hours, while improving safety, reducing scaffold congestion, and reducing overall downtime of the assets. With that, I would like to open the floor for questions, for Q&A, and Marlon and I will hand it back to Robin for facilitating that.
Yes, thank you. Audience, if you have any questions, please submit them now. I'll give you a second or two, and we'll begin that portion of the webinar. All right, Carolyn.
Yes, you have a question for me?
Yes. What forms of visual inspection do you provide?
Our inspection capabilities include 510 weld inspection. We also do standard NDT inspection, mag particle ultrasonic thickness. We do perform 653 internal and external sphere inspections. We also provide pulsed eddy current inspections, LSI, phased array, visual VT inspections, and what other specific inspection methods are you looking for? All of these combined with rope access.
All right. And how were you able to track the savings during the turnaround?
We track the savings through rope access hours worked on each scope of the work. And I'm going to go back to that slide. So on each scope of the work, we would track the total hours worked and then get this cost for the scaffold on those hours if we were to scaffold that scope. and determine the work hours, the man hours, the labor hours for scaffold compared to rope access and the composite crew, and come up with the safe work hours reduction and the cost savings.
Great, thank you. Audience, are there any last-minute questions? Please submit them now. Here's another one. Can you speak to the types of jobs this best lends itself to, and what are your skills of your crew members?
Yes, I'm just going to repeat the question. Can we speak to the types of jobs that this skill or this type of work lends itself to, and the skills of our team members? And I'm going to hand that to Marlon to answer the question.
The types of jobs that our skill sets, that's a very broad question, but it lends itself to a one-source approach wherein we would come in and provide all of the integrity inspection. We would do the remedial blasting, the remedial cleaning, and we would do further inspection. We would do remedial coating repairs, and then a final inspection. That could be whether it be in tank and vessels, structural, or in CUI programs.
Thanks, Marlon. Any last-minute questions? All right. Thank you, Carolyn and Marlon, for your time. I greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate MISTRAS for sponsoring this educational content, and remind each of you that you can visit them at mistrasgroup.com to watch videos and submit any questions, last-minute questions that you may have. The recorded version of this presentation will be available in about 2 hours at bicwebinars.com. Feel free to watch it again and share with your colleagues. On behalf of all of our friends at BIC Magazine, have a safe day. Thank you.